Oh, how then tell our story, let it echo far and wide, make them hear you.
I have, may it please the court, a few words to say. In the first place, I deny everything but what I have all along admitted, the design on my part to free the slaves. I certainly intended to make a clear thing of that now. As I did last winter, when I went into Missouri, and there took slaves without the snapping of a gun on either side, led them through the country, and finally left them in Canada. I designed to have done the same thing again, on a larger scale. That was all I intended. I never did intend murder, or treason, or the destruction of property, or to excite or incite slaves to rebel or make insurrection. Now, I have another objection, and that is, it is unjust that I should suffer such a penalty. Had I interfered in the manner which I admit has been fairly proved, for I admire the truthfulness and candor with which a greater portion of the witnesses in this trial have testified. Had I so interfered in behalf of the rich, the powerful, the intelligent, the so-called great, or any of their friends, either father, mother, brother, sister, wife, or children, or any of that class, and suffered what I have in that interference, well, it would have been all right. And every man in this court would have deemed it an act worthy of reward rather than punishment. Now, this court acknowledges, I suppose, the validity of the law of God. I see a book kissed here, which I suppose to be the Bible, at least the New Testament. It teaches me that all things whatsoever I would that men should do unto me, I should do even so to them. It further teaches me to remember them that are in bonds as bound with them. I endeavor to act up to that instruction. I am yet too young to understand that God is any respecter of persons. I believe that to have interfered as I have done, as I have always freely admitted I have done, in behalf of his despised poor, was not wrong, but right. And if it be deemed necessary that I should forfeit my life for the furtherance of the ends of justice, and mingle my blood further with the blood of my children and the blood of millions of Americans in this slave country whose lives, whose rights are disregarded by wicked, cruel, and unjust enactments, I submit, so let it be done. And let me say one word further. I feel entirely satisfied with the treatment I have received on my trial. It has been more generous than I expected, given the circumstances. And I have stated for the first what was my intention and what was not. I never had any design against the life of any person, nor any disposition to commit treason or excite slaves to rebellion or make any general insurrection. I never encouraged any man to do so, but always discouraged any idea of that kind. Now let me say also a word in regard to the statements made by some of those connected with me. Now I hear it has been stated by some of them that I have induced them to join. The contrary is true. Now I do not say this to injure them, but merely as regretting their weakness. There is not one of them but joined me of his own accord, and the greater part of them at their own expense. A number of them I never even saw and never had a word of conversation with until the day they came to me. And that was for the purpose which I have stated. Now I have done.
Make them hear you. Make them hear you.